Hey y'all, you know I got something new for you. Baby, a socket to me pound cake. Yes, indeed. Look at that filling. Gotta try this pound cake. I'm not gonna over talk it today. We're gonna go ahead and get into it. So I'm gonna show y'all how I whip it like butter. Let's go. Okay, we're gonna start off by making our sour cream pound cake base. We're using 3/6 of salted butter. Y'all know salted butter gives that pound cake a nice boost of flavor. It just enhances the flavor of the sweetness. All right, so we're adding 3 cups of granulated sugar into here. Add it nice and slow, and we're gonna mix this on about a 2 for about 5 minutes until it's nice, light, and fluffy. So I'm just giving it a check right here. Gonna scrape down the sides of the bowl and give it another mix to go ahead and finish the process. All right, you all see the difference right here. You see how the batter looks at on the beater. It's nice, light, and fluffy, almost like custard. Okay. So we're adding in our extracts here. You can add 2 teaspoons. I add a little extra. I felt like adding a little extra. Nothing wrong with that. Then we're going to add our eggs in here one at a time. So we're only going to mix our eggs until combined. You can mix them at about a 2. 2 is not too fast, okay? All right, and then you know we're going to have to scrape down the sides of our bowl because you see how the batter and everything is adhering to the sides of our bowl. We already have our oven at 325 degrees. So once we finish off this cake, we're going to pop it in there and bake it for an hour and a half. Okay, so we're using 3 cups of flour for this recipe. All right, and we're going to alternate with the sour cream. Like so. Start with our flour and of course end with our flour. Now you can use other bases besides sour cream for this recipe, but traditionally sour cream is used for this recipe. But of course, you know, you can make it your own. You just keep adding little by little at a time until you use all your ingredients. So you can do this like in threes, whatever suits you for your recipe. Adding my last bit of sour cream here. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and add the flour. Now it's important for you to use chopped pecans for this recipe and to chop them down, not just too fine, you know, but into a nice consistency. If you don't buy them already chopped, mine were gifted to me by my grandmother, so I had to go ahead and chop them by hand. But, you know, it's up to you. So we got all our ingredients in here, giving this a last mix by hand. There we are. Nice and thick batter, okay? So adding our brown sugar, all right, our cinnamon, and our nutmeg. Now you can add a little bit more nutmeg, that's really up to you. Nutmeg can be a strong flavor, right? So I just didn't want to add too much to this recipe. So as always, you want to spray the hell out of that pan. And then I'm going in here with the pastry brush and smoothing it out really nice. Just get all into the creases and the crevices. We're using a 12-cup pan for this recipe. That's what I recommend that you use as a standard. Now those really cute pans with all the designs, they are cute, but the problem is they don't hold enough batter. So you would have to, you know, put some batter in another pan, reserve batter, whatever. You couldn't fill the whole pan. So that's why I like this tried and true pan. It's 12 cups, holds most of my recipes with no problem. So it's really up to you what you want to do. That's food for thought. All right, so we're adding our mixture into the middle. Now mine wasn't quite middle, you know, but sometimes things happen, but I just kept it moving, y'all. It looked middle. You can measure your batter um, to make it as even as possible. It's really up to you. I decided to eyeball it. It is what it is. Still, the streusel came out great, but you do. The goal is to get it as center as possible, okay? So then we're adding our last bit of batter on top of here. And you just want to lay it and just try to place your batter in all the areas to kind of, create a seal, so then when you smooth it, you're not really moving the streusel around too much. All right, so if you lay it right and just gently, like here, gently move your batter around to smooth it, you should be fine. Okay, very important to smooth the top of your cake. And like I said, we're going to bake this in the oven 325 degrees for around an hour and 15 minutes until the cake is done, y'all. Um, Time is relative. Every oven is different. Every cake bakes different. So please don't think, oh, it's an hour and 15 minutes. I gotta check. Not wait till an hour and 15 minutes to check. No, check early. Check frequently. See if that cake's pulling from the sides of the pan. It's browning. There's different indications, that the cake is done. So of course we're gonna make a little topping for our cake. And I always add my glazes once the cake has fully cooled, so the glaze is not absorbing into the cake, and then you don't have your glaze becomes translucent. All right, that's very important. So a good glaze is just a balance of ingredients. You don't want to add too much liquid. You want to have a good base of powdered sugar, so at least start with 2.5, 3 cups, and of course I have the recipe linked below. But the key to a good glaze is a balance between the powdered sugar and the liquid. That's why you want to add your liquid a little bit at a time, so you don't add too much and thin your glaze out too much. No matter if you're following a recipe, the amount of glaze that a person uses may not be the look that you want to achieve. So it's best to slowly add in your glaze so you're not doing, your liquid, so you're not overpowering your glaze. All right, I hope I helped somebody today. Give this a nice cut. We're going to go in with our taste test. And as always, I really hope you all enjoy this recipe. Now it's your turn to whip it like butter.